We made French beaded rosebud earrings last week, and in today's video I will show you how to make matching rings using just beads and wire. Coming up. Hi Bead fam, my name is Fen Li, author, bead instructor, and designer here at the Bead Flora Studio. I introduced a technique on how to make French beaded rings in my book, and I will share it here with you in today's video by making matching rosebud rings to go along with last week's earrings. And a quick shout out to Cindy, who made the earrings already using size 15C beads. And just like the earrings, the rings can be worn two ways and they are stackable. I will put the materials and tool list in the description, so let's get to it. To get started, we'll need 26 gauge silver wire, and let's measure out 30 inches and cut that out. Make a knot at one end. Now let's string some green beads on to the wire here. So let's leave a 2-inch tail, and we're just going to eyeball that here. And take these beads and wrap it around the finger that you want the ring to be. You can use one of those, those ring sizers too, but I don't have one of those, so I'm just going to use my fingers here. Okay. So just going to make a loop and twist it a few times here. And then just put it through your finger again just to make sure that it will go through your finger. If not, then adjust it. Now we're going to make a series of 7 bead one-sided scallops onto the ring here. So let's string on the beads here. So here what we're going to do is we're going to take the working wire and go underneath the ring here. And align these beads up. And then take the working wire and just go over the bead in between these two beads right here and pull it. And now we're going to string on 7 more beads here. Push the beads so it covers most of the wire here. I'm going to do the same thing. Go underneath the ring and then bring the wire over. All right, so let's keep going until we have the whole ring covered. And now I'm at the last part here, and depending on the size of your finger, you're not going to have exactly 7 beads left for the last part. Sometimes you can have more, sometimes you can have less. So for example, if you needed just like 3 beads for the last section, just string on the 3 beads and make the last section here. For the last section for me, I have 8 beads, so I just strung on 8 beads here. And with this, we're going to go underneath the ring. Bring it up. And let's just twist the 2 wires together. Now let's string on 10 inches of petal colored beads onto the wire here. Now we are ready to make the petals, and we want to leave about 1/8 inch of space right here. I'm just going to mark that with my finger here. And the pattern calls for 3 5-bead double continuous wraparound loops. If your mind is blown right now, please do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe for more tutorials like this. Now that we have all 3 of these done, let's smush them all towards the center. And wrap the working wire just around the base of the petals. We are ready to make the next set of petals, and the pattern calls for 5 7-bead double continuous wraparound loops. Now let's take these 5 petals and wrap it around the inner petals here. And then take the working wire and wrap it around the base. So now let's take any excess beads off. Next, I'm going to make 5 8-bead continuous loops for the calyx. I'm just going to string a bunch of beads on here. And here we're going to make the 8-bead loops. And the first loop is always the hardest, so just be patient right here. Because there are such tight spaces, it's harder to make the first loop. Okay, you can even do it, just twist it 3 times. Pull on here, the working wire, to tighten the cross here. And I'm going to twist it 3 times just so that it's nice and tight. Now take the calyx and wrap it around the base of the petals here. And you want to take the working wire and end it in between the calyx and the petals. Take your pliers and pull on the wire here. Just going to wrap it around a couple times, 2 or 3 times. Snip this off. Tuck it. And then do the same with this tail wire here. Now let's put the calyx back where it's supposed to be. Now I'm going to show you how to make the leaf ring, and I already have the base started. You want to use 30 inches of 24 gauge wire, and for this you do want to use 24 gauge because it is a lot more heavier for the leaves. And for the tail wire, leave that to be 6 inches. And string on 12 inches of green beads onto your working wire. So now let's twist the tail wire and the working wire together about 1/8 of an inch here. And let's put on 3 beads onto the tail wire. And for this leaf, we want pointed tops and rounded bottoms. 7 rows. Let's coil these up here. Get it out of the way. Right, now let's unwind the top wire here and let's string on some beads onto the wire. I'm going to take these and bend it along the back of the leaf. Remove any excess beads here. And we want to do this because we don't want the wires to scratch you when you're wearing this. Just wrap it around the base of the leaf here. And take the working wire and the tail or top wire and twist it again. And this time we're going to do about 1/4 inch and string on 3 beads onto the top wire here. And now we're going to do 9 rows with pointed tops and rounded bottoms. And with this working wire, just wrap it around the base a couple times, cut and then tuck. And let's undo the top here. And we're going to string some beads on. Bend along the back of the leaf. Remove any excess. And wrap this around the base of this leaf here. Alright, now let's shape this here. Hold on to the leaf with one hand and then bend or twist with the other. Okay. Don't just leave it flat. Do something with your leaf and give it some shape. Make it interesting. If you are loving the jewelry so far, check out the matching earrings video, and I will have hairpins coming up next week. Happy beading!